Syria, you said you're hopeful, but you don't know about a deal yet. Riyad Hijab, who's the Syrian prime minister who defected and is now the political leader of the opposition that the U.S. and other powers recognize, had some blistering criticism that I want you to be able to respond to. He told the Wall Street Journal in an interview that history will never forgive Obama for what he has done to the Syrian people. He's raised their expectations, and then he gave Bashar al-Assad the green light, talking about strengthening Iran's position in Syria, saying that Assad must go, and not doing anything to oppose him. How do you respond to that?
Well, listen, given the tragedy that has befallen his country, it's not surprising to me that he's using some rather pointed rhetoric to make his argument. But ultimately, the President of the United States has one overriding responsibility, and that's to look out for the interests and safety of the American people. And that's what President Obama has prioritized over everything else. We certainly have been deeply concerned about the plight of the Syrian people, and that's why the United States has devoted significant time and attention and resources to trying to bring that violence to an end. The President and the United States have played the leading role in the international community to reach the kind of negotiated diplomatic solution that will be required to bring that violence to an end. And there's just no military solution that would work. And I think my evidence for that is that there are some people who hint that the President should ramp up military operations, but there's no real coherent description of a military solution that anybody's really described. And I think that, and I certainly don't mean that as a criticism of the gentleman that you cited, I mean that as an illustration of just how complex the situation is. And the President at every turn has put the interests of the United States first. That's the responsibility of the Commander-in-Chief.
But to his point on history not forgiving the President, is the President certain that history will see his side of things and his view of this?
Listen, I think if we know anything about history, it's that historians tend to disagree about history. And I think this may be an area where historians do end up quibbling just a little bit. Again, I think the one thing that historians on both sides will acknowledge is the military solution that many people seem to wish for, including people with the best of intentions, simply does not exist. It has not been presented for any sort of public consideration. And diplomacy can be hard, it can be frustrating, it can take far longer than we would like. And I think there's probably no better illustration of diplomacy fitting that criteria that I just laid out than with regard to the situation in Syria. It has been hard, it's been frustrating, and it's taken far longer than we would like. But that's the only solution. That is the only way we can bring this violence to an end. It's the only way we can address the underlying chaos in Syria, and it's the only way we can expedite the provision of badly needed humanitarian assistance. And the United States has done more than anybody else to try to find that diplomatic solution, but we haven't found it yet.